I have a huge problem when I'm working. Distractions. And easily my biggest distraction is going to get the prototype designs I make off my 3D printer, which is in my workshop all the way outside. But what if I could bring my entire workshop inside to my desk, so when they finished I could just grab it straight out? Whilst this might seem like a great solution, all this stuff makes it pretty impossible to actually work. So after a quick tidy up, I decided it was time to brainstorm some ideas. I want to try and have as many tools from my workshop as possible with me at my desk, but I like a clean setup, so maybe I can use this space under here, and maybe keep it all tidy in a cupboard. I definitely want a drawer section at the top with specific tool sections for my OCD, and most importantly, it will need to hold my 3D printer. I also don't want to be wearing my mask at my desk all day, so I'm going to think about some safety features like ventilation, but before all that I need to get something I can physically work with. And whilst the mini workshop needs to be functional, I don't want it to break the bank. So I decided to set myself a budget of £500 in total, starting with a whopping £89 just for the cupboard and door front, £35 for the internal drawer mechanism and £20 on extraction. But luckily for my wallet, construction was going to be free. So the idea is to store all my tools in the drawer, which originally I thought about designing and 3D printing my own from scratch, but the print time and materials for something that big was insane. So instead I'm going to design and 3D print individual compartments to keep them organised, and underneath have my 3D printer. But for this mini space in my mini workshop, I'm going to need a mini 3D printer. And that's going to be the A1 Mini by Bambu Lab, an ultra compact 3D printer that falls in at a budget friendly £230, and there are a few reasons that make this perfect for my project. Like the fact that it's tiny so it fits in the cupboard, but still has 180 squared build volume. And it's super fast, so I'm still going to be able to churn through multiple prototypes in a day, but one of the main things I'm excited about is the noise cancellation, which makes the printer ultra quiet, which is perfect for being in my office. So now I've got my layout of my printer, it's time to work on the insides, and as I'm waiting for parts to arrive for the printer chamber, I'm going to start with the drawer, which has really been inspired by Scott Ujan, because after seeing him make this masterpiece last year, I've been looking for any excuse to have a go myself. And it also gives me an amazing chance to test the A1 Mini out by using it to print all the parts I'm going to need. So I started by marking out some print bed size areas in the drawer, then laid out my tools in each section. The best bit being, if I get new tools or the old ones break, I can just swap out one tray without changing the whole layout of the drawer. And even though having this layout is going to keep it fairly straightforward, the whole process is still pretty time consuming. It's basically a combination of taking a picture of each of your tools, importing those canvases into Fusion 360, making a few measurements and some wildly complicated calculations to get the perfect scale, then tracing around the item until you have a perfect model. Morley Kurt actually has an amazing tutorial for this, which I'll pop in the description below. And once I have all my tools in Fusion, I can take them across to my drawer template, cut them out exactly where I want them in each section, and do this for each tool until I have a completed section ready to send to the printer via the magic cloud. After repeating this whole process another 8 times until all the top sections were finished, and then printing some extra storage to go underneath them, I could finally load everything into place. I'm actually super happy with how the drawer inserts came out. I've managed to squeeze pretty much everything I would need from my workshop in here, including some spare parts. I even had some space left over for some desk items like pens, memory cards and my Rode mics. And the extra sections underneath are perfect for some backup filament and my larger items like long cables that are always a real pain to store. Although the whole drawer section did take a bit longer than expected, I did finish it just in time for all the chamber parts to arrive. So the first part I'm going to focus on is ventilation, which is important because my office is a pretty enclosed space and I'd much rather any fumes not be in here with me. So after a quick install, I've added this extractor fan to the back of the cupboard and done my best to seal up any gaps inside. The idea being that when the printer is on, I can flick the fan on and it will take the smells out this ducting instead, which I printed a small grill for and attached to the old vent in my ceiling. Next I got hold of this under cabinet light to add inside so I can actually see what I'm doing in the chamber when I open it up. But I didn't want to have to switch it on every time I looked inside, so I wired the light through a mortise switch, which basically means when I open the door the light will automatically turn on, but when I shut the door it will turn itself off, so I won't end up leaving the light on all the time when I'm not using it. And with the ventilation and lights done, I could focus on the printer, which just needed a hole at the back for the socket. But to keep the chamber as sealed as possible, I printed this TPU surround on the A1 Mini, which came out ridiculously nicely the first time and sealed the wiring perfectly. And once the printer was fired up, I just needed some material to get printing, but obviously that wasn't going to fit inside here. The A1 Mini does come with the option of an AMS light, which doesn't only mean you can print in multiple colours at once like I have for this handle I've made for my drawer, but it's also super convenient for holding multiple filaments at once so you don't have to constantly swap them around in between prints. But because space is getting a little tight in the mini workshop, and as I'm going to be sat next to it anyway, I decided just one spool holder would be enough. So I quickly designed a simple one to sit on the outside of a cupboard and fed the Bowden tube through the side and down into the printer, again making sure it was sealed with a little bit of sealant on the inside. And with everything finished inside, the last finishing touches should have been easy, like fitting the hinges to the door, putting it on the cupboard and adding this strip to the back to completely seal the chamber. But that's where it all started going wrong. When I was fitting the drawer handle I printed earlier, I used the wrong size hole saw, making the nuts too small, so I had to adjust the design and print another one. And then just as I got really excited to finally slide the mini workshop into place... I'm not sure exactly what I got wrong when I measured this a few weeks ago, but for the first time in my life it was an inch too big. And I couldn't just chop a bit off or move my desk higher because of these tiles, so this catastrophic misjudgment meant the whole project was in danger. But then I had an idea which would actually make this even more practical, something that always makes every situation better. A complete set of tiny wheels. The wheels might feel like a bit of a novelty, but I really like that I can move this thing around. I mean, I've got a fully portable mini workshop that I can make anything I like with at the click of a button, and it all works really well. The printer just works away printing quietly whilst I do my designs, and when it's done, any maintenance or post-processing tools I need, I just go into the drawer and everything I could need is to hand. And whilst I am super happy with how the workshop came out, this little printer has massively won me over. It's basically been abused from the start, being moved around constantly, printed countless hours of accessories for the workshop, and it did it all without a single error, all for under £230, which still blows my mind. But did the mini workshop come in under my original budget? Well, the cupboard in total set us back £113. Bambu Lab kindly sent us the A1 Mini for this project, but to keep it fair, that would have been £230. The accessories like the light and extraction came to about £35, and the filament for any printed parts was about a roll's worth at £17, which leaves me with around £100 to do something with this top now it doesn't fit under the desk. And I really want to try and incorporate the AMS light somehow, and maybe even take it on the road with its wheels. So as usual, this project has taken way longer than it should have done, and because of that, some things have actually changed. You might have noticed I mentioned a few times the A1 Mini was £230 without the AMS at the time, but since then, Bambu Lab have launched their 2-year celebration, which means for a limited time, the A1 Mini is £169, which is wild. I actually did a review on the world's cheapest printer a while back, which cost me around £80. So to think that under £100 more you can get this whole machine just seems ridiculous to me. We'll pop a link to the sale in the description below, which of course helps support us too, so thanks. And if you do end up getting yourself an A1 Mini or any of their higher spec printers, let us know in the comments which one you're going to get and if you're enjoying it.